Hello everyone, this is Michelle Glover with Batter and Bowl Bakery. Today we're going to do our quick and easy peach cobbler. We're going to start with adding 2 sticks of butter to a saucepan and allowing it to simmer at a very slow heat. To that we're going to add 1.5 cups of sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar. And we're going to allow those butter and both sugars to mix together slowly at a very slow heat. To that we're going to add 2 32-ounce cans of peaches in a heavy syrup. You can either do halves or slices, it's your choice, but we're going to allow over a slow heat again for these mixtures to mix very slowly and marry together. We're going to continue to allow the butter to melt and allow those mixtures to come together under a very slow heat. We're not here to boil it. We're just here to allow those things to melt, marry, and mix together. To that, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract to enhance the flavor that we need in our syrup for our cobbler. Again, continuing to mix these together very slowly, giving them an opportunity to simmer and blend very well together. Once those have all melted together, we're going to take approximately 1 cup of your peach syrup out of your saucepan. And to that, we are going to add 1 tablespoon of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of corn starch. And this is to create an even thicker roux within your peach juice so that it will be really rich for your cobbler. So we're going to add these 2 tablespoons together along with 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. We're going to whisk that mixture together pretty heavily. Our goal here is to get all of the lumps out of that mixture and make it as smooth as possible. And again, we're creating this roux or creating this mixture to add back to our peach syrup to make it thicker and to allow for a more rich taste once we assemble our cobbler together. Now, once you have generously mixed that, it's going to look like an off-white or light brown type of mixture. You're going to add it slowly back to your simmering pot of peaches there, and you're going to stir in really slowly and again allow that mixture to develop. And you can just about see from the very beginning the mixture beginning to thicken up, your peach syrup starting to thicken up, which is what we want. And you can look at it here after 10 minutes of allowing it to simmer, it has turned into a very rich and thick peach syrup. We're going to turn that off and set it to the side, and then we're going to prepare our shells, or basically our crust for our peach cobbler. Now, for those who are able to still create your own crust and roll out your dough, I think that is to be commended. I think it's very great. But for those of us who do not have the time to necessarily do that, I encourage my customers to go to a local grocery store and get the pie crusts that are able to be rolled out. You can find them in the refrigeration or freezer section of your grocery stores, and they will work just fine. So what I'm doing here, I took a pie crust out of its packaging here, rolled it out, and added a little bit of flour here just to strengthen that pie shell as I kind of pull on it and tug on it a little bit to make sure that it's stretched far enough so it'll cover the bottom of my 11 by 9.5 pan. Now here is the key here to enhance that flavor. You're going to baste that pie shell with melted butter. And this just kind of wakes up that pastry. It's been in the freezer section and it's been rolled up. This will give a homemade taste and flavor back to that crust, and it will definitely help to enhance the flavor of your peaches and your syrup once you add it to this pie shell. So once we finished basting the crust here, I just layered it into that pan, and you can use any size pan you desire for the amount of peach cobbler that you're going to make. Again, this is an 11 by 9.5 pan. So I just lined it really generously and put it in the oven for approximately 10 minutes. The goal here is not to cook the shell, but just to bring it to rise just a little bit before you layer it with your peaches and your syrup. So that's what we're about to do now, is take the peaches and syrup that have been sitting to the side, and you're going to add them to your pan here where you have your crust already lined on the bottom. So as you can see here, I'm just simply taking a ladle and I'm picking up the peaches as well as the custard or the syrup in the pot, and I'm generously lining the bottom of that pan with the peaches and the juice, making sure that I cover every corner and every ounce of the bottom of that pan. What you want to do is make sure that you have enough peaches, but also enough syrup that will cover all of your peaches before you layer the top part of this peaches with another crust or pie shell. And I'm going to show you how to do that as well. But as you can see, I'm adding quite a bit of peaches. You want to be generous with the syrup as well. That's very important. Once you've done that, you can sit the remaining to the side, and you can also sit your tray to the side as well as you prepare the top shell for this cobbler. So we're going to do that. We're going to sit that to the side, and you're going to do a repeat basically of what I did for the bottom shell. You're going to roll it out. You're going to put a little bit of flour on top, baste it with butter, and you're going to simply layer it on top of that peach and syrup custard, being pretty quick to go ahead and line it really quickly. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to make sure that it covers all of your peaches and all of your syrup. To that, I am going to add probably 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar to the top, just to enhance the flavor of that top shell as it continues to marry with the peaches that are underneath. And I'm also going to add a little bit of brown sugar as well, and just sprinkle that on top as well. Again, all of this is done to just enhance the flavor of your crust and also give your peaches and your syrup that extra richness and flavor that you need. So that is basically how it's going to look before you put it in the oven. You're going to place this in a 350-degree oven for approximately 30 to 35 minutes, or until your crust is a golden brown. Afterwards, you're going to pull it out, and you can see here it looks absolutely delicious. The pastry is a nice brown. The sugar and the brown sugar have made it a really nice look, and you can see that some of your peach syrup has also come through to the top, which will always be an added bonus when you're making cobbler. So I'm going to dig out a little bit of it here, and again, you can serve it while it's hot, or you can wait until it cools off, whatever works for you, and you can serve it easily. So I was able to dip this out really, really easily, and just add the juice, the peaches, the crust, all to a plate. And as you can see, it looks very, very good. There's a good amount, a balanced amount of peaches, of syrup, and of crust. And that's what you are looking for. So let's take a look. If you would like to see this recipe or any of the other recipes that we make in the bakery, please subscribe to our channel at Batter and Bold Bakery TV. Thank you.